Oh dear. Right, well, I wasn't going to do one tonight. I've been feeling too good today. Been sleeping quite a lot today, actually. I did go and do some shopping, though, but come home and really knackered out and went back to bed for a couple of hours. Didn't really want to cook much, so I just had some cold chicken wings I got from the old shopping centre. I don't know what it's like actually even fucking. No, it's like doesn't say what it says. Right, I didn't even do no building today. I was just so fucking tired. So I wasn't going to come on, but I thought, so to do something. Might talk about some of the paranormal stuff that I've done in the past. I'm not going to talk really about much in here. Probably talk about the resident ones I've done. Like Pete's paranormal one. I've done quite a few. Oh, I've got fucking itchy leg today. I put some cream on it, still keeps burning up. Yeah, so I thought I'd just talk about some of the paranormal things, investigations I've done. First of all, Paranormal Pete. Well, done quite a lot down there. First time I went down there, poltergeist activity. Things being thrown at me, left, right, and centre. Scared the complete crap out of me. Didn't think I'd go back there, but I did. Went there several times actually, trying to confront the spirits that Pete really loves conjuring up. How he conjured the spirits up, I really don't know. I know he did say that his dad used to do like a lot of kind of paranormal stuff in the olden days. Before even we had any kind of like technology, like the K2 meters, EVP recorders, and stuff like that. It was probably like the old analog tape recorders that he could have used, but he was more into like, I think, spells and witchcraft. His old man. Don't know if you know he ever done table tipping or anything like that, but yeah, we done his dad's house a couple of times. Caught a really weird picture of an old hag. Looks like she's kind of coming through the wall from the room I was only just in. So that was a bit unusual. A bit creepy as hell as well, actually. Not Andrew. So yeah, Pete's house, is always seemed to be active because the way he keeps conjuring up stuff and provoking them and, just, being mean to them, I suppose. I try to go then, kind of make peace with them, kind of thing, but, it wasn't with me trying to provoke them because I was already provoked by Pete. We did do some stuff on, what's it called, that bloody other social media, Skype. Did a few live streams on Skype. And we still seem to be getting activity, at both our houses. I don't know if I bought stuff home from Pete's house. Well, I think I bought like Arthur and Edna over after moving them on. I think they followed me back for a while. So I seem to be getting a lot of like ghost box responses, especially like Edna and Arthur's names coming through on the ghost box. So that was interesting. Because when we was doing the ghost box at Pete's house, they seemed to be really like pissed off and angry. But after I believe I moved them on, we was doing stuff here, and when I kept getting their names coming through, they seemed more kind of happy and not angry. And I kept getting like, thank you, and crossed over and love you, and all that kind of other kind of stuff coming through the ghost box. I don't think that once you cross spirits over, you don't really get that much interaction with them anymore. Once they've gone, they've gone. I don't know if they've got free will to come back and just pay you a visit or something. But even if they do, I don't think they come back to give you any form of activity. It's like when like a departed one, like a family member, if they cross over, they do come back and just like keep an eye on you, and you might hear maybe the odd like whisper, or you might hear like a little tap or a knock or something here, and that's for them just to like kind of get you to know that they're there, get that recognition kind of thing. The police house, is always like too overcrowded with like spirits. I mean, very overcrowded with spirits. But the other place we did do, we only did once. That was me and my nephew, that Georgian house. That was pretty cool. Spent the night there actually. Warwick, the son of the house who got us permission in there, he was like kind of plastered and like high up with like smoking dope. Before he got too high, he's like kind of like interacting with us and the spirits, and telling the spirits they need to communicate with us, because we wasn't really getting much at the beginning bit, and then suddenly kind of like amped up. Like what video where his dad's office door is just constantly like opening, shutting, opening, shutting, opening, shutting, opening, shutting. We got all activity on the middle hallway, because it's like 3 floors up. So it's got three kind of floors, I think it is. There might be a fourth. Actually, no, it's 4, because it's got the attic, which we kind of like poked in and like stuck our camera around, but we didn't stay up there because it looked just too fucking creepy up there. We should have stuck a camera up there, but we didn't have a camera. Right, Carl? So, we had cameras, but not a spare one to stick up there, kind of thing. I believe that there's supposed to be a little girl there that roamed the first floor hallway. So we stuck a toy up there, and I think we used the REM pod up there as well, and we got interaction with that. I remember sitting in the chair near to the door. Aaron was on the other side of me. Warwick was on the settee, and this was like in one of the big main living rooms. And I said, like, for the spirits, if they want to come through and communicate, then they can do so. I even mentioned about, like, touch me. I don't mind you touch me to let you know who's there. And within about 5 minutes or so, something just touched my shoulder. It felt like a hand going on my shoulder. I turned around thinking it's Aaron, but it wasn't. He was just sitting there, kind of like, open-eyed, kind of like confused on what was going on, I think. I said, did you just touch me? He goes, no. I said, I swear something touched me. And, then I realised I did say, like, I did ask him to touch me, and, like, someone touched me. It didn't feel like a girl's hand, like, a small hand. It felt like a more of a big, muscly kind of hand. So, that was all being recorded anyway, so it is on my Georgian House videos. So that's like kind of like interesting. Yeah, that was interesting. Oh, he did get quite a lot of activity on that house. Being Georgian, like, it had underground tunnels, but we weren't able to get down there because they was all boarded up and like caved in and stuff. But underground caves or tunnels were there well through the Victorian times, because what happened was that the more richer people didn't like going on the street in fear that they might get mugged and murdered. So they had these tunnels created, and they used to go down the tunnels, and the tunnels would lead to like the local inn, pub, whatever you had. They used to come up into the pub through a hidden secret doorway. Then they'll spend the night, drinking and smoking and, just like doing what they normally do in the Victorian days. And then after, the pub's meant to be closing, they're sometimes meant to be like after hours for certain visitors. And then, like, when they decided to go back, they didn't go out on the street. They went back down through the tunnels, apparently. So there is supposed to be tunnel systems in Mitcham, but I've never found where they are or if there's any possible way of getting there and doing some kind of investigation. If I was able to get into one, I wouldn't be doing it on my own. No fucking chance. I'd need people there with me because, like, you just don't know what happened in the tunnel. There could have been murders in the tunnels, there could have been accidental deaths, fucking drunk walking along and tripped over and broke his neck or something, kind of thing. I think there was a bit of smuggling in those tunnels as well. So, the Georgian house was quite interesting. We only got to do one part of the house, which, because although it's a big house, they was kind of like converting half the house to have it as like flats or bed and breakfast or something like that, kind of thing. So there was like a scaffolding outside, and the parents stayed in that side of the house, which was being converted while we was doing the investigation. I think because they didn't want to be in the video, and we was only just about lucky enough to get into there. So that was interesting. I'd like to have gone in Warwick's room a bit more, because there was like a bit like a cubby hole, and he mentioned that sometimes the maids used to go along there and meet up for little chats and pass on messages and stuff like that, because it used to be very, very strict in them days. And if you got caught with a message, then severe punishment. So yeah, we never got to do the cubby hole, and we never got to do the attic because it's too dark, too pitch black, too spooky, and we didn't have a camera to put up there. We did have like our normal handheld ones, and we kind of like put it around and see if we got anything, but never did. And I don't know even if that video was uploaded that bit. So I know we had a little bit of problem with some of the cameras eventually. I'll have to check it one day. Mind you, there's about fucking 20 videos on that Georgian house, I think. The other one we did was Kenny's house. That's interesting as well. I did like 2 little prior visits there, and then we went and done the main investigation. It was me, Aaron, and Simon James, and although we didn't get a lot of activity there, we got like a lot of all activity and possibly the shadows and stuff on EVPs and millimeters and K2s going off. The only really good, interesting bit I caught was when I was taking photos of Kenny's mirror, and it looked like I caught a photo of a witch. And I called Simon, but Simon was busy doing his stuff at the time, but he did come in. I showed him the photo, and he goes, "Fucking hell, Steve, I've got to see if I can replicate that." And he sat there for over an hour taking hundreds of photos in that mirror, and he never got anything similar to it. So that was like, Now there was one mirror in the hallway, and when I first went there, I took photos of the mirror, and I didn't realise until I got back and looked at the photos, there's a little boy standing right next to me, and I think his name might have been Dexter, actually. That's what we called him anyway. Found out that, during World War II, that area had been completely, obliterated by the German bombs. So, maybe Dexter spirit was like kind of trapped there. And maybe because like Kenny's got a little boy, he probably felt like, being more comfortable with another child. We did kind of think that some of the toys had been moved. A joystick had definitely been moved in the son's room. The son wasn't there when we did the investigation. He went to stay with his mum. And Kenny and her son is black, right? I caught an image of a little boy standing next to me on the first little mini like walk around of a white boy. And you can see, he's got, I don't know what I've done with the photo, but I showed you God knows how many times with that picture. And I still got it, kind of thing. I think I've even got a copy up on Facebook somewhere. But although it wasn't interactive, it wasn't that active. We did get some kind of like pretty good stuff. Joystick, controller, whatever you want to call it, was on the table next to me. It's on the floor. I think one of the car toys had moved. We've got a lot of like orb activity. The equipment was going off quite a lot. So it's kind of interesting. Next one isn't a residential, it's more of a kind of outside investigation. I mean, Simon Jones did this Croydon Cemetery, and we got a few kind of like hits on the K2 meters and whatnot. Got a few EVPs, but the unusual thing was like we was near the centre of the cemetery. Now the centre, it's got two big gates, and between those two big gates you've got a pathway. Those gates are locked up at certain times of the daytime, yeah. So you can't get from one part of the cemetery onto the other side of the cemetery because, the gates had to be open and you had to walk across like a little driveway to get into the second part. And I'm not reading the chat, sorry. Otherwise I'm going to get fucking confused on what's on that. But we was in the first half, yeah, and we was able to get in through the back entrance because they're like part of the fence had been cut away and we was able to sneak in. And I knew that because I'd actually gone there during the daytime and done one. And the daytime one, someone was actually being buried and I didn't want to be around that area. So I just took some photos and EVPs, a different part. And I thought, this would be cool to come back at night time. And me and Simon done it. And we was at the centre of the cemetery. And I was a little bit away from Simon. Simon's near this bush, and Simon swears he saw a pair of red eyes that darted into this bush and scared the shit out of him. And when he told us, I said, well, I think we better get out because we don't know what it is. Even the cat hasn't got red eyes. A fox hasn't got red eyes. So whatever it is, it could have been like something demonic. We don't know. So we kind of like backed away and we did a little bit more, on the way to the hole in the fence, and then we just came out. But that cemetery is fucking freaky at night time. I think any cemetery can be scary and freaky at night time. And it did suddenly get cold in that area as well. The rest of the cemetery wasn't as cold as the part where some sort of red eyes. So that was unusual. When Aaron did another cemetery, the one what I've done in the past with the big soldier statue up near Bemington, I think it's called. I'm always saying it's Bemington, it's probably ain't. Beckenham Cemetery. I've done that a few times during the daytime, yeah, but me and Aaron went up there, found a way getting up there in his car, and we went there. And, there was a way getting in. So we got in and we done like EVPs, K2 meters and stuff like that. So it wasn't kind of like freaky at first, felt kind of comfortable in there. We went to the children's part and I started reading the story. And on the ghost box, Aaron said, what do you think of Stephen's story reading? And we heard like little girl say good, and the little boy said it's crap. I thought, fucking cheeky bastard. There's me spending my time and energy trying to read your story. You're saying it's crap. So we got some kind of like interesting EVPs on that night. But we went further down, and we went near to a part of one of the older parts where all the big trees and you got the old headstones and stuff like that. And Aaron swears he started seeing these dark shadows flying around. And I thought, no, you're just magicking it. And I carried on doing what he was doing. He said, no, look. And I turned around and you see this dark shadow go right across these trees. I said, Aaron, I think it's time we started making tracks. And he goes, yeah, I think we fucking need to go. And, you could start feeling the energy getting, from a change from like positive to negative. So we had to leave, we didn't want anything coming after us and following us home. And we did do some prayers, when we left. So, I've been back there during the daytime and not really caught much there. I think with, any kind of like cemetery work, it can be very active and spooky at night time, but it depends on, the conditions at night time. It could be like a cold, wet, miserable night and you might get more than you would on a hot, sunny, dry night, or you could have a mixture. But, I've done other cemeteries with with Aaron. We did the Dartford one when my uncle and my cousin buried on top of each other at Dartford Cemetery, and me, Aaron, and the woman was up there. It'd actually been snowing, and that at the time I had a broken leg. So I'm walking around with a broken leg on a fucking icy, cold, slippery ground, kind of thing, with walking sticks. We did get a few things up there. I know that, when you blow out the coldness, you see like that mist, but this particular mist we saw, when you was blowing out the cold air, it was going that way. But this great big fucking massive mist went straight through us, straight past us. That happened about 3 or 4 times. Again, I think Aaron mentioned he thought he saw dark shadows run around in the trees. I think one of us actually thought we saw someone like walking past a tree. But when we went to look, there wasn't no one there. And we even, had the guts to sit in the part of the cemetery where there's the seats there. And we had walkie-talkies, yeah. And one would sit there with a ghost box and EVP while the other two buggered off and just like left you there. And we had like I think it was either a 5 or 10 minute where we had to sit there. And if you didn't sit there, you're fucking, coward, kind of thing. And we all did do it. We actually did do it. But I remember when I was sitting there, I felt like, definitely something was sitting there beside me, watching me. I got that creepy feeling. I actually thought I saw like a misty shadow figure, like practically beside me, in a tree. It was kind of creepy doing that on your own. And if you felt like, you was being under attack or something, you felt like something was there, all you had to do is like pick up the radio and say, "Oi guys, get back here." And, they had to get back there quick as possible. So, but we all had like really weird feelings in that cemetery. Tried looking for my nan's headstone, could never find it. But that's it really. No, we have actually done another couple of cemeteries, but the Jewish one around the corner. I mean, Simon and Aaron's done those different times. Never really felt anything, evil or nasty there, but we got some pretty interesting hits on the K2 meters and the REM pods and EVPs and stuff. All right, let's see what he's saying. Nah, Warwick, not Warwick Castle. Warwick is a guy I used to know over Mitchell Common. Bit of a weird kid, actually. he owns a big Georgian house. Well, his parents owned a big Georgian house in Mitcham, and he was able to get us a nighttime visiting there to do a ghost hunting there. Never knew what happened to him because he liked to do cook. He used to go over the common and hunt rabbits quite a lot. We used to take the rabbits home, chop them up and cook them for rabbit stew and whatever for the family. And every time he used to come over to the common, he used to bring food over with him to cook on a little barbecue, and he'd either burn it or it wasn't cooked properly, or if it was cooked and he went to give it to you, dropped it on the floor, I'd say, I'm not eating that, and he'd just pick up stuff in his mouth, kind of thing. Oh, there's no, but a bit of dirt, a bit of dirt won't hurt you. And after doing the Georgian house, I think it's probably about a year or so later, he just disappeared. I kept asking, other people we knew him, where's he gone? And I think some of them said they, went abroad to learn cooking in different countries, to become a proper chef. But I've never seen him since, and that's probably about, I can't remember that. Got about 7-8 years now, maybe. I know it was about a year after we did the Georgian house. I know that he just suddenly got up and went and left, because we was trying to get him to let us do it again. Trying to get Simon James down every now and, but never found out where he was, so I couldn't ask him. Because if he had said yeah, we would have done it. Definitely would have done it before Aaron had his near-death experiences. Well, he did die, but he came back. And probably done it before Simon James decided to give up the paranormal, because he met a partner and started having a family. I did say to Simon one day, I said, if you ever came down this way, would you go out with me on another paranormal? Because I don't know. So I don't really want to be bringing anything back. I'll come down and visit you and go out for a pint or something, but for him to actually do an investigation, I don't know if he would or not, because he's probably be too afraid in taking an unwanted spirit back with him. We did do a couple of we did. These were with different times with each person, but me and Aaron did Wimbledon Common. We did the Jewish cemetery. We did the 2 parks around near me. And Wimbledon Common, Mitcham Common. We did Stretton Common. We did the 2 parks, and we did 2 cemeteries, I think. But we did do Mitcham Common a few times, me and Aaron. Then when Simon came down, we did Wimbledon Common. We did Mitcham Common a couple of times. And this is on both times he visited me. So Mitcham Common a couple of times, Wimbledon Common. We did, I can't fucking hear that again. We did 2 parks, and we did the Jewish cemetery. Now the thing is, with that Jewish cemetery, you can't even get in there at night time now. There used to be like a little side entrance right outside the guy's house, the caretaker, and there used to be a gate which was always left unlocked. But now you can't get there because it's like walled off. And even when he goes in to do like his shift for the day, or he just open the main gate, he's got to walk around on the main road and then unlock it. He could have just like gone through the side gate and then opened it that way, but he doesn't do it no more because it's like just, bricked off, which is a shame, because I'd love to have gone in and done some more. Thing is, it has, got CCTV as well, just outside the Jewish meeting building where they go in and do their praying. I need to go and get some codeine. My head's starting to hurt bad. What do I do with that other codeine box? I think I might throw it away. Oh dear. Found the penny, picked it up today. Didn't bring me no fucking luck though. It's just gone all the way down the back of the cupboard now. Dudley Castle, don't know where below where Dudley Castle is. I want to know if there's any places down here I could do in Mitcham. I tried doing a Google search one day for haunted locations. There are like, little alleyways and, the tunnels, and there's supposed to be a pub or something and a house, but can't get into them. There is a place called The Follies, and that is a pretty cool place to go to. It's part old castle and part house, and it's meant to be haunted, but it's run under National Trust. So I don't think they'd actually let anyone go there. Plus, like the owners probably turn around and say no anyway. Well, I did go past it one day and I did some EVP recording, and I've got some interesting EVPs on it. You've got one saying "Go away, danger." So once I played that back, I thought, right, okay, I'm not going to be told twice. I did some stuff in the old Hall Place on Mitcham, which is just directly opposite of Warwick's Georgian house. Hall Place has been used for many different occasions, like World War II. Soldiers were put there to be medically sorted out and get back to bed, back to bed. I can't talk now. Get better. Get back to bed. What am I saying? Get better again. Let's put it that way. To heal them. Then it went into. I think that first of all it was a school. Then it went into the military. Then it went into like an old age pensioners home, and I'm not sure what one it was, but it did get catch on fire. I think it's when it was like old age homes. A couple of people died there apparently, and then it got rebuilt again, and then it went into for people who was homeless, emergency accommodation. I actually did go there after the Quad and Court one after I broke my leg because I couldn't go up and down the stairs in the Quad and Court. So they put me over to Hall Place, and I done a lot of ghost hunting in there as well, actually. until the security got a complaint about it, and then the security told the council came down and spoke to me. I spoke to the security, and they said they were okay with it. And they turned around and said, well, we did say it's okay, but we're going to tell you, no, don't do it anymore. We don't want the tenants getting scared and running out, and we don't want the reputation that the place is haunted, and we are going to get more tenants in later on, kind of thing. So I said, okay, well, you ain't going to tell me I can't do it outside, You go, oh no, you can't. We're not saying that you can't do it outside, and I upload your videos, but you can't actually do any ghost hunting here. I thought, well, fuck you, mate, I'm going to do it. And I did carry on doing it for a couple of months until I got moved out and ended up in here, this shithole. I used to like it here. I thought it was okay. So I remember when I was in Hall Place, I did a Ouija board session. And I asked where they, the spirits were going to be, and they said, like, Stratton Vale. And I didn't even know where Stratton Vale was. I didn't even bother Googling it. I just did not know where it was. And when I got a letter from the council saying, I need to go and check this place out, you've got to take it, because otherwise you don't take it, it'll be offered to someone else, and you'll be on the street anyway. So I took it, and I think it was probably about 6 months after moving here. I still didn't know exactly where it was until I did do a Google map, and I'm on the border of Stratton Vale. I thought, fucking hell, I remember that. The Ouija board session. So I can't be Stratton Vale when I'm on the borderline of Stratton Vale. So that was kind of fucking amazing. Can't prove it, you just have to take my word for it. But yeah, I'm on the border of Stratton Vale. But there are some places I wouldn't mind going to as well, like, in a group wise, not on my own, in a group, London Dungeons, I'd love to go there. One place you can't go to is Chislehurst Caves anymore. That's locked off. And they only do, I think, now one paranormal group session per year. Because there's a story, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Dover Castle, I'm going now. There are some old World War II bunkers, hidden bunkers on the old Dover Cliffs, apparently. So I saw a couple of YouTube videos where people go out, looking for locations to go and check out. And they found some old World War II bunkers and caves over there. Now, there are a lot of places I like to go to, which I'll probably do a stream on one night, but I'm not going to do it tonight because it's just too many I've got to think of, and I can't think because I've got a fucking headache. But yeah, Chislehurst Caves. Me and my family went there one time, yeah. And there's supposed to be a story which was told by the person who took us around about a white lady that roamed the Chislehurst Caves, and she used to like walk around crying sometimes, and she was actual shackled to chains. And when we was there, a lot of people kept saying, "Can you hear that? Can you hear that?" And like, people were saying like they could hear like sounds of chains rattling, and some people were saying they can hear like not so much screaming but crying, kind of thing. And on the caves, there's thousands of names, going back from hundreds of years. And we was looking at them, and we actually saw one with, our surname on it. I thought, what the fuck? But you think about it, if you come across like a name, say like Tracy O'Brien, there's going to be fucking thousands of O'Briens. I know there's like loads of Morgans on social media now. So, you're guaranteed to find someone with, the same name as you. But, we weren't really looking at it, just like looked in one small area and we saw someone by the name of Morgans. Well, what the fuck? But, yeah, like it was supposed to be haunted, and there's a story where two guys got in there one night, and they kind of got lost. their torches kept going off and flashing on and off and just dying on them. And one guy swears he saw the lady in white, and it scared him so much he started running, and he tripped over and smashed his head on a brick. His mate tried to bring him out, but the guy never survived because, like, although they were both scared, the guy's head was pouring of blood and everything. Yeah, they managed to get out. They called 999, the emergency services, and they came down. They tried to revive the guy who had, had a serious injury. Apparently, he died. And after that, Chislehurst Cage got, completely locked up at night time, and no one's allowed in there whatsoever after a certain time at night. And those caves go for miles and miles and miles, fucking, it's one of the biggest caves in the UK, apparently. That's what I've heard anyway. And a lot of the caves haven't even been, researched. This is what I've heard anyway. But yeah, now they reckon that the guy who fell over and, smashed his head, apparently he haunts Chislehurst Caves. But if that's true or not, I don't know. But the lady in white's definitely true. There's a lot of stories about the lady in white in Chislehurst. There's even like other stories about, soldiers that haunt the place. Because I think that was also like a makeshift hospital at one time. And a lot of people went in there during World War II when the Germans were bombing, and a few, families died in there. So there's a lot of history in Chislehurst Caves. But apparently there's only meant to be one paranormal investigation that's allowed each year, and only so many people can go in there. I think it's more like teens, and they actually check on the teens' reputation to see if they do, like, if they find that they do black magic and shit like that, they can't go in there. I don't know how much it costs to actually go in. I don't even know how much it costs when it was open to the public. I think it's still open to the public, but only certain times of the year now. I'd love to have done that one. Although, like, Hall Place, where I lived for nearly a year in Mitcham, there is another place called Hall Place down in near Bexley. It's a big kind of Victorian Georgian place. And me, Aaron, and Warren got into the grounds one day and done some ghost hunting in there and got some EVPs on that. We also done a daytime visit down there. We still got EVPs. We even got like a sound little girl saying, "Will you play?" or "Play with me," or something like that. We went and had to look inside the building because the building was open during the daytime and had some interesting stuff in there. But that's apparently haunted, and even that place you can only investigate like once a year, because a lot of people was like getting in and like doing stuff which they weren't supposed to be doing, and it made the place a lot more haunted than it's supposed to be. So there's 2 Hall Places I've done. Weird. Is there going to be a third? Does anyone know a third place called Hall Place? It probably is, but where, I don't know. All right, let's see what else has been there. Funny you're saying Dover Castle. I didn't even see that. I swear I didn't even see that. But Saint told me to say Dover Castle. That is supposed to be quite haunted. There is a my mum used to go on a walk where she used to live, and it's like it's a bit like a woodland in one way, but it's got like some stone structure there, like an archway, which I think the building used to be more probably like an old church or something like been there. I've always wanted to go and check that out during the daytime, but I could never remember where the bloody place is. And because my mum's old and she's got dementia, she ain't going to be able to remember it. Because my stepdad, Ron, used to go up there quite a lot. I can't remember the bloody place now. I'll have to speak to my sister. Because sometimes when I went to visit my mum, I had to get to train anyway, so like getting the train ain't too much of a problem. Train on a bus. Trying to think of my mum where she used to live, I can't fucking remember it. Because I'm trying to remember it, I can't remember it. But if I wasn't going to try to remember it, I'll probably remember it. It's always the same, isn't it? Oh, that's Rose Snot. Oh, fucking hell, I can actually see her. Snot nose. Well, if you blew your nose a bit more often, it wouldn't be snotty, would it? I'm not using StreamYard because I'm only going to do short ones without, doing DVR cameras and all that kind of shit. I'm not going to bother. So I'll just come on here and take a chance that, YouTube ain't going to fuck up on me. I thought, she left a comment, right? And I thought, who the fucking hell Snot Nose? Paranormal. I thought, oh, hang on. The only crazy enough person for that to have a name off would be Rose. And I clicked on the channel and yeah, it was Rose. Oh dear. I'm so fucking tired, man. I've been tired the last 2 days. I don't know why. It feels like the whole of my energy has been sucked out of me, Something keeps telling me, go to bed, sleep, rest, wake up, and then within an hour, I'm tired again because I ain't got no fucking energy again. I don't know if it's anything spiritual or if it's health issues or what. I don't know. I keep getting headaches again, bad headaches. Been sick a few times as well. I've not actually been sick, but I feel like I want to be sick. Nausea, headaches, dizziness. My knees have been playing up again. I don't know what multivitamins to have though. Some might be okay, but some might fucking make you even more worse, apparently. Time I ain't gonna stay on too long tonight. Been nearly an hour. I think the farthest one is just it's not in really classed as a haunted location. It's where me and my 2 nephews have been. Is Jordan's Wood, where we caught those apparitions on both times we went down there. Bexley Hospital Fields. The hospital ain't no longer there, the mental asylum. It's just like housing estate there now, but they've still got the main front entrance as they used to drive in. That's still there. But they knocked the hospital down. God knows how many years ago. They put an estate up. Now, my niece Laura was lucky enough to get one of the houses there. Not long after they've built the estate, she moved in. Her old man, and I think she had 1 kid at the time. She now has moved. She's, this. I'm talking like when the estate was there. God, fucking hell, probably about 12 years, something like that. I can't really remember. But anyway, she moved into one of the houses area, and we used to go and visit her quite a lot because, like, if I see my sister Denise, all I had to do is walk across the fields and onto the estate, and she wasn't that far from my sister Denise, and she swears black and blue. A lot of weird shit was going in the house, and that's what probably scared her more because, like, she doesn't like even to talk or hear about the paranormal. But she said, like, she used to see shadows, noises. She swears she heard voices coming from somewhere, and she just couldn't handle it. She had to get out, so she moved. And then she's moved to another location. But I'm pretty sure some of those houses could be possibly haunted because they're like where the hospital was. On one of the fields, there used to be a big mound, and on that mound, when it was like raining and the mound was decaying a little bit, you could see all these bones sticking out, and people wondered what they were. Now, some of them were animal bones, because cooking for so many patients, there wasn't really a good kind of like trash collection in their area, so they probably like threw the bones on this mound. But there was meant to be stories about what bones and dead people there as well, because the morgue always got too full and they didn't have anywhere to put the bodies, so they probably burnt them or tried to disintegrate them and put them on the same mound with the animal carcasses. And not far from the mound, just a little bit further down on one of the other fields, near just outside, or it's just practically bordering this kind of like building which they used for like Cub Scouts and little parties and stuff like that. There's a little mini lake there. Apparently, there's been dead bodies found in there. Not full dead bodies, but like bones. Some humans' bones, some animal bones. The mound was actually dug up by Time Team, but I've never been able to find the episode on Time Team because I don't know if they was actually doing TV programs on that one at a particular time. But I met Tony Robson and a couple of other group, and I was so fascinated. I asked if I could help to doing some new digging, and they taught me how to do some digging, and even they were finding human bones there. So me, Aaron and Warren started doing those. One of the big fields a bit further down, and we was getting a lot of activity down there. We've been down there nearly a dozen times. Even one of my other nephews, Simon, decided to come with us one day, and he was so fascinated with it. He said he's like very skeptical and doesn't believe it, but things that he saw and heard, and the equipment going off. He said, we've either come down there again, he wouldn't mind coming with us again. I said, yeah, no problem. Now, I know Aaron, he won't do any more paranormal because he's had those two near-death experiences kind of thing, so I don't think he'll come out, but Warren said he would take me up to Jordan's Wood again one night if I go down there. And maybe Simon might come with us. But I've always promised that lady, what's her name? Oh, can't even fucking remember her name now. Promised to meet up with her a couple of times, but it's always got cancelled off. I can't afford to go down there, or health issues, or my nephew's not able to do it because he's sick or he's working or something, Can't fucking remember her name now. But I do want to go back down now, Jordan's Wood. Bexley Hospital, Fields, Bexley Cemetery. That's an interesting place, that one. But they're the furthest ones I've been to. We've been to Shevenock Castle. That's down not far from Sidcup. And the monastery, I can't remember the monastery where that was now, but me and Aaron did go down to that monastery. We've done that ourselves. I did go down there with Pete one time as well. And Shevenock Castle, me, Aaron, and Warren done. While it's been like under construction. I don't fucking believe that there's big feet. Well, I'm not saying they don't exist. There is, but you know, no more fucking notes to be in America than anywhere else. Or someone fucking, you know, tranquilized one of them, fucking like, you know, and pulled it over here mysteriously and let it loose. They reckon, like, you know, Bigfoot are being brought over by, you know, UFOs. They are aliens from, you know, different planets, and the old spacecraft drops one off every now and then, so they can gather intelligence. Find out the best location to build a fucking alien underground space station or something, you know. Night, Angela. God, you don't stay long, does she now? I think she just gets bored of my talking sometimes. I feel a little bit hungry, but I'm not hungry. I had cold chicken wings earlier. Then I had 2 cornettos. Got some cheesy balls left I might eat later. Get rid of those. I just feel too tired tonight to do anything. So I am going to go in a minute. I might try and watch a movie before I go to bed. But I want to try to get up early and do some more builds. If I've got the fucking energy to do it. I just feel so fucking whacked out lately. So drained. Oh, I just can't understand why I feel so tired. So freaking tired, man. I'll try to come on tomorrow and do a stream. Do like little mini ghost hunt, but I'm not promising. No, sorry, well, I'm feeling too fucking tired. You know what I mean? I'm feeling very fucking tired lately. Feels like, it feels like all my energy being sucked out of me. Too many fucking headaches. Right, I'm going to shut off here. I'll might be on tomorrow. I wasn't even going to come on tonight, but I thought, fuck it, I'll just do an hour. And I think it's been an hour anyway. So, yeah, I'm going to shut off. Yeah, it's an hour now. So I'll see you tomorrow, probably, maybe. I'm not promising, but we'll see how it goes. Catch you later. Good night.